Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahushai Bahasham Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutation to the elect of the nation of Israel. To you I say Shalom. This is Romans chapter 9, verse 12. It was said unto her. Well, I'm going to start at verse 11. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. The NLT says, but before they were born, who? Jacob and Esau. Before Jacob and Esau were born, the Heavenly Father already chose who was going to be loved and who was going to be hated before they were born. You see? And this is according to the Most High's purpose. Okay? According to his will. The NLT says before they had done anything good or bad, she received a message from God. This message shows that God chooses people according to his own purposes. See? So we know the Israelites consist of you so-called Negroes, you so-called Latinos, you so-called Hispanics, you so-called Native Americans, and you Israelites that scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Well, guess what? If you are an Israelite, if your seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you are an Israelite. That means you're special in the eyes of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. Okay, we're his special chosen people. And that right there alone should make us rejoice, should make us grateful, should make us even more thankful. That should make us even more thankful. Verse 12 in the KJV says, it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So the Heavenly Father hates Esau. Who is Esau? Esau is the so-called white man, the so-called white race. The Heavenly Father loves Jacob, but he hates Esau. It was verse 12, it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. So when you read the account about Jacob and Esau in the book of Genesis, who came out first? Esau, right? Was the eldest son of Isaac and twin brother of Jacob. Esau. Okay? This was all, according to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahshai's purpose. Okay? The Heavenly Father, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, hates Esau. Okay? Let's look up that word hate. He hated Esau. It says to hate, pursue with hatred, detest, to be hated, detested, to detest, to love less, to detest. Let's look up the word detest. Let's see what that word means. It says to dislike intensely. The Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, disliked Esau. Esau is an abomination, you see. The so-called white man is Esau Edom. You see why the Heavenly Father hates Esau? Look at what Esau is doing to the earth. Look at what Esau is doing to people. Look who's in the power seat. Esau is wicked. They are the wicked. The wicked one are being revealed. And that's Esau Edom, the Edomites. That word despise, feel contempt, or a deep repugnance for. Abhor, regard with disgust and hatred. Loathe, feel intense dislike or disgust for. Remember, Esau hates the Israelites. Esau hates the Heavenly Father and the Messiah. Right? And Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai hates Esau. The feeling is mutual, you know? Okay? Yeah, people saying that, oh, the Heavenly Father loves everybody. No, that's not true. Okay? And it says it right here. Romans chapter 9, verse 13. As it is written, it's written in the book of Malachi, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid. The NLT says, are we saying then that God was unfair? Of course not. Right. That doesn't make the Heavenly Father unfair or unjust because he hates Esau. Remember, the Heavenly Father can do what he wants to do. His thoughts are not our thoughts. His ways are not our ways. We're so glad and excited to be an Israelite. You know? Because, hey, when you go up in the book of Romans, it talks about how the adoption, okay, it's Romans chapter 9, verse 4. Who are Israelites who pertaineth, it's verse 3. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Mashiach, from my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh. The NLT says, for my people, it says Jewish brothers, but I'm going to say Israelite. My Israelite brothers and sisters, I would be willing to be forever cursed, cut off from Mashiach, if that would save them. Okay, yeah, Paul had love for his people. Okay. Let's read. Verse 4. NLT, they are the people of Israel, chosen to be God's adopted children. God revealed his glory to them. He made covenants with them and gave them his law. He gave them the privilege of worshiping him and receiving his wonderful promises. And that's right. We have the opportunity to worship, to reverence the true power of the universe. That's major. Okay, the adoption, verse 4 in the KJV says, who are Israelites to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of God and the promises, whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Mashiach came, who was overall God blessed forever. Amen. The NLT says Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are their ancestors, and Mashiach himself was an Israelite as far as his human nature is concerned. And he is God, the one who rules over everything and is worship and is worthy of eternal praise. Amen. Okay, so who he came for? The Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, the glory, the giving of the law. The old covenant was made with two, the Israelites, which they couldn't keep it. Right? The new covenant is for who? The Israelites. You know? The adoption is being brought back to Yahweh, to the Heavenly Father Yahweh, that through Yahweh Shai, our mediator. That's for the Israelites. The law, the commandments, is for who? The Israelites. For the Israelites. This is the book of Romans. Okay? You had Israelites living in Rome. Israelites are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth according to prophecy and according to the Bible. And according to the law, Salakia, according to the curses that the Most High put upon us, that we was going to be scattered. So we're everywhere. The Israelites are scattered everywhere. So this is not a color thing. Okay. All right. It's spiritual. You're gonna have Israelites looking like the different nations. You're gonna have Israelites, you may have Israelites of a lighter tone, darker tone. You're gonna have Israelites in different shades, right? Every Israelite is not so-called black, right? You're gonna have Israelites that look like the so-called Chinese men, right? A lot of those Filipinos are Israelites, you know? Let's keep on reading. Verse 13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Yaquab was the second son of Isaac, right? The progenitor of the Israelites. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid. For he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that sheweth mercy. Right. Verse 16 in NLT says, so it is God who decides to show mercy. That's what it is. You see that? So once again, us being an Israelite, that's amazing. Man, we so thankful, we so grateful, man, because as you can see, these people trying to steal our heritage and our culture, who? The small hats, the small hatters, okay? They think they think they're us, but they're not. They trying to be us, but they're not. They're Edomites. Okay. Those 1948ers. In reality, they're Edomites. Okay, they're Edomites. You know, primarily Amalek, the Amalekites, the chief house of Edom. You know, so the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, is going to have mercy upon Jacob, but not on Esau. He's going to have compassion on Jacob, but not on Esau. You know? This is Romans chapter 9, verse 17. No, we don't have to get 17. I do want to get Second Thessalonians. Chapter 2, verse 8 is the point. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Right? That wicked has been revealed, the man of lawlessness, right? Who is Esau, Edom. And they're being consumed with the spirit of his mouth. That's the spirit of his mouth is talking about the prophets. Okay, the prophets are exposing Esau, Edom, and chanting down Esau, Edom empire or kingdom. Okay? Because who's the king of Babylon the Great? Esau, Edom. Right? Starting with the elite banking families, man. The man of lawlessness is being revealed. All right? The man of sin is being revealed. And yet when Yahweh shall come back, he's going to destroy Esau, Edom. Okay? He's going to destroy them. That's why the scriptures say Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So the two main characters was always Jacob and Esau. And these other nations were just, they're part of the movie. They're extras in the movie. They're not the two main characters, though. Right? Verse 9, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Right? 9 in the NLT says this man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles. And that's what we see. That's what we're witnessing. We're seeing Esau, Edom is doing the work of Satan. We're seeing it. Look at the state of the earth. Look at the state of the world. Is it peace? No. Is it wickedness? Yes. Who's ruling? Esau, Edom. The NLT says in verse 10 says he will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their way to destruction because they refuse to love and accept the truth that will save them. And that's what Esau, Edom do and uses. He uses deception. He loves to deceive people. Who gave Esau, Edom that deceiving spirit to deceive people? The Heavenly Father, you see? All right. Right. This is the book of Job, verse 12, chapter 12, verse 16. With him is strength and wisdom that deceive and the deceiver are his. The Heavenly Father is controlling both sides, all sides. He controls everything. Sometimes he have it where he sets up people to deceive other people. The Heavenly Father, he wants certain people to be deceived. But guess who's not going to be deceived? That's the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay? This is Psalm 50 verse 17, saying, Thou hatest instruction and casteth my words behind thee. This is Psalm 50 verse 16. But unto the wicked, God said, Why, what hast thou to do? What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? The NLT says, but God says to the wicked, why bother reciting my decrees and pretending to obey my covenant? For you refuse my discipline and treat my words like trash. That's Esau Edom. The Esau Edom, the so-called white man, the so-called white woman, the so-called white child, doesn't matter. Esau Edom in general, they're the wicked, and their fate is destruction. They refuse Yahweh Bahashem Yahshua's discipline. They treat the Heavenly Father words, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai words, like trash, like the scriptures say. Okay, remember that Esau Edom, he's crooked. He was created like that. The Heavenly Father created Esau Edom to be crooked. Because the Heavenly Father wanted that to be like that. Okay? This the book of Psalm chapter 5 verse 4. For thou art not a God that hath pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with thee. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. That's right. The NLT says, verse 4, O God, you take no pleasure in wickedness. You cannot tolerate the sins of the wicked. Therefore the proud may not stand in your presence. For you hate all who do evil. And who's doing evil? Esau Edom. You got a lot of people doing evil. These different nations doing evil. The wicked of our people do evil. Esau Edom, he does evil by default. That's the top wicked person on the earth is Esau Edom. Therefore the proud may not stand in your presence, for you hate all who do evil. And there's a lot of proud people out there, starting with Esau Edom. They're proud. And the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, hates them. You will destroy those who tell lies. Yahweh detests murderers and deceivers. Esau Edom is a murderer. He's a murderer, man. Okay? And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to destroy them. Remember, Esau Edom speaks with the false tongue. and they're proud. So with that, all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rachakodash. Shalom.